Visitor is not attacking the boar, it is selecting a tiny meal. Each tick becomes an effortless mouthful, allowing the mongoose has learned that this particular boar will tolerate its presence. The most protected folds hold the greatest number of parasites, but the deeper it searches, the more food it finds. The mongoose moves closer to an animal powerful enough to end. Each parasite grips the skin beneath the fur, causing an irritation. Why would this wild boar allow a mongoose to? With every careful step, the mongoose moves deeper. Behind the ear, the mongoose discovers the richest feeding. At first glance, this powerful wild boar appears to be alone in the morning wilderness. But beneath its dense coat, hundreds of blood-feeding ticks have found places where the boar cannot easily reach. Each parasite grips the skin beneath the fur, causing an irritation that grows more intense with every passing hour. It can scrape its body against bark, yet the most sensitive parts of its face remain beyond the reach of its own hooves. Unable to remove them, the boar finally lies down, exposing the very places where the infestation is worst. Then, from the grass, a much smaller animal detects an opportunity hidden inside the boar's suffering. The mongoose moves closer to an animal powerful enough to end the encounter with a single violent motion. Why would this wild boar allow a mongoose to climb directly onto its tick-covered face? With every careful step, the mongoose moves deeper into a place where almost no other animal would dare to stand. Its sensitive nose quickly detects the parasites concealed beneath layers of coarse hair. The visitor is not attacking the boar, it is selecting a tiny meal hidden directly against the skin. Although the boar watches every movement, it allows the mongoose to continue across its heavily infested face.
Near the eye, where the boar cannot scratch safely, the mongoose works with remarkable precision.
The boar now shifts its head, almost as though it understands which infected area the mongoose needs to reach next. But the greatest concentration of ticks lies deeper behind the ears, where this unusual cleaning encounter is only beginning. Behind the ear, the mongoose discovers the richest feeding ground yet, concealed beneath layers of coarse protective fur. Each tick becomes an effortless mouthful, allowing the mongoose to feed without chasing prey across the forest floor. The deeper it searches, the more food it finds in places the boar has been unable to clean for weeks. For the mongoose, the boar's heavy coat has become a living landscape filled with hundreds of small, protein-rich rewards. The most protected folds hold the greatest number of parasites, but they also place the mongoose dangerously close to the boar's powerful jaws. As the feeding continues, the difference becomes visible. One small patch is cleaner, while countless ticks still remain nearby. Now the search carries the mongoose toward the mouth, where abundant food lies beside the most dangerous part of the boar's body. The mongoose has found an extraordinary meal, but the reason the boar accepts this risk has not yet been fully revealed. For the boar, these parasites are more than an irritation. Each one remains attached to the skin, feeding and weakening the animal over time. Even when it rubs its face against the earth, the boar cannot reach the parasites buried beside its eyes, ears, and jaw. Its own body gives it strength and protection, yet it also prevents the boar from cleaning the most delicate parts of its face. By turning its head and lowering its ear, the Philippine warty pig gives the yellow mongoose access to places no hoof, tusk, or tree trunk can safely clean. As the parasites disappear, the skin twitches less, the ear relaxes, and the boar begins to experience relief it could not create on its own. The boar is no longer merely tolerating the visitor. Its posture now actively helps the mongoose continue the cleaning process. The contrast is becoming unmistakable. Where the mongoose has worked, the skin is calmer, while untouched areas remain crowded with feeding ticks. The benefit to the boar is now clear. But the mongoose must still trust that those powerful jaws will remain closed. The mongoose now enters the most dangerous part of the encounter, only centimeters from jaws powerful enough to crush bone. Yet even here, the boar does not react, allowing the mongoose to remove parasites from the edge of its mouth. For a moment, Both animals study one another, each depending on the other to remain calm. The boar's relaxed posture becomes a signal, telling the mongoose that the cleaning may continue safely. Their cooperation depends on a silent exchange of signals, stillness, slow movement, and the absence of threat. Trust is not created in a single moment. It grows through repeated encounters in which neither animal breaks the pattern. The mongoose has learned that this particular boar will tolerate its presence, while the boar has learned that the visitor brings relief rather than danger. What began as a dangerous approach has become a precise exchange of trust, but the true reason behind it will be fully revealed only when the cleaning is complete. At last, the mongoose reaches the final refuge where the greatest number of ticks still remains hidden. Every parasite removed gives the mongoose another meal and gives the boar another moment of relief. The cleaning is nearly complete, and the answer to this unusual encounter is now impossible to miss. The mongoose has taken what it needs, while the boar has received a service it could never perform alone. When the mongoose steps away, the boar no longer shakes its head with the same desperate discomfort. The difference is visible in the calmer skin, the relaxed ears, and the disappearance of countless parasites from the most sensitive parts of the face. This is not friendship in the human sense, but a rare exchange in which both animals gain something essential. The Red River hog allows the slender mongoose to walk across its face because the mongoose eats the ticks buried in its thick